"We were just kids at the time, causing trouble." This sentence was spoken by the person in the picture, the British Ken Gamble, who is 15 years old. He may seem like an ordinary teenager, and the troubles he talks about might sound like neighborhood fights or disturbing the neighbors at night. However, the story is much more dangerous and significant than that. Behind these features hides the famous hacker known as Cracka, who managed to hack the world's most powerful intelligence agency. He even slept in the bed of the former CIA Director John Brennan, knowing all the details of his life without him realizing it. Gamble was only 15 years old at the time, and in 2015, he became a global trend. His picture was on every TV channel, every magazine, and every newspaper, causing a significant shock to the intelligence community and highlighting the vulnerabilities in the world's most secure systems. But what did Ken Gamble do, and how did he manage to hack the director of the world's most powerful intelligence agency? Ken Gamble was born in Colville, a small town in Leicestershire. He was described as a shy and introverted teenager who found his place and felt a sense of belonging in the electronic world. Gamble's interest in hacking began in his early teenage years, driven by a fascination with technology and a desire to understand and manipulate digital systems. He was largely self-taught, learning the intricacies of hacking from online forums, tutorials, and communities. In 2015, Gamble co-founded the hacking group CIA Cracka with attitude with other like-minded rebellious youths. This group was dubbed the Sons of Anonymous. The teenage hackers quickly gained fame for their politically motivated hacking operations. Unlike most hackers who are primarily motivated by money, the CIA group was driven by a strong desire to expose the injustice and hypocrisy in the United States, specifically in its intelligence apparatus. They were more ethically than materially motivated hackers. The CIA hackers were not the most skilled or dangerous in the world. They were relatively amateur compared to more dangerous hackers, but they were extremely annoying, much like a small mosquito that you can easily crush but is capable of keeping you awake at night. It wasn't just about hacking, it was about the noise and annoyance they caused. John Brennan, then director of the CIA, became one of the main targets of the CIA group. Gamble and his group considered Brennan a symbol and head of the U.S. intelligence apparatus. Through the data they collected and the research they conducted, they believed he was involved in unethical activities, such as monitoring people's accounts and personal lives and engaging in secret operations. To hack John Brennan comprehensively, Gamble employed a strategy known as social engineering, which can be classified as a fundamental principle in hacking. Social engineering allows you to manipulate any person and make them reveal confidential information or grant unauthorized access to any system. In Brennan's case, Gamble used a set of clever tactics to gather confidential data to hack all his accounts. These tactics consisted of 3 basic steps. 1. Information gathering. Gamble began by searching the internet for general information about Brennan and his family, whether published by others or allowed by Brennan on his accounts, such as his birth date, address, and phone numbers. He also searched his contacts and even his religious, political, and ideological affiliations, which could be exploited against him. 2. Impersonating Brennan. Armed with this valuable information, Gamble impersonated Brennan in phone calls with various service providers. For instance, he called Verizon, Brennan's telecom provider, and managed to convince customer service representatives that he was John Brennan by answering security questions and providing personal details. This allowed Gamble to access Brennan's private account with Verizon. 3. Email and online accounts. With control of Brennan's phone number, Gamble could easily reset passwords and bypass security measures for Brennan's email account. Upon accessing Brennan's email, Gamble found a treasure trove of sensitive information, including security clearance applications and contact lists of key figures in the government, including intelligence officials. Gamble and his colleagues leaked some of this information online, causing significant embarrassment to the CIA. After this breach, Gamble simply called John Brennan. During the call, Brennan asked the young hacker why he was doing this. Gamble's response was straightforward: "We want you to stop bombing the Middle East." This simple and concise answer reflects the intentions of Gamble and his CIA colleagues, who used their hacking skills for noble and ethical purposes. This is known as ethical hacking. The hacking of Brennan's accounts by a 15-year-old teenager caused a media storm and immediate reactions from law enforcement agencies in both the United States and the United Kingdom. In February 2017, British authorities arrested Gamble at his home in Colville. On October 6 of the same year, Gamble pleaded guilty to 8 charges of unauthorized access to computer systems and unauthorized modification of computer materials. In April 2018, Gamble appeared before the Central Criminal Court in London. where the prosecutor told the court that Gamble impersonated his victims and deceived Comcast and Verizon call centers, as well as the U.S. government, to gain access to accounts and personal information. He obtained highly sensitive intelligence and military operation details in Afghanistan and Iraq. Gamble's victims included James Clapper, former Director of National Intelligence, two other officials in the Obama administration, Avril Haines and John Holderan, FBI Special Agent Amy Hess, FBI Deputy Director Mark Giuliano, and Secretary of Homeland Security Jay Johnson, whose television was hacked with the message "I own you," and whose wife received a threatening voice message on her email. Judge Charles sentenced Gamble to 2 years in prison and the confiscation of all his computers. The sentence was intended to send a message to anyone else considering following in Gamble's footsteps. The judge stated that the defendant enjoyed his attacks, describing them as extremely malicious cyber-terrorism campaigns with political motives. Gamble admitted to stealing contact information for 9,000 Department of Homeland Security employees and 20,000 FBI employees, which were leaked online with the phrase "This is for Palestine." After extensive investigations, it was revealed that Gamble ran a Twitter account named @.govs, posting various messages ending with hashtags like #FreePalestine and #FreeGaza. Although legally considered a crime, Gamble's actions were driven by humanitarian and ethical motives, prompted by American injustice, which adds to the injustice perpetrated by Israelis against Palestinians. Interestingly, this significant hacking incident occurred a year after the brutal Israeli war on Gaza in July 2014, the third war Israel waged on Gaza, lasting 51 days and ending on August 26, 2014, leaving 2,322 Palestinians dead and committing massacres against 144 families. In 2018, Gamble was sentenced to 2 years in a juvenile detention center. The judge acknowledged Gamble's youth and the fact that he showed remorse, but he did not commit a mistake. Gamble's successful hacking of the accounts of highly sensitive and dangerous individuals in the U.S. demonstrated the effectiveness of social engineering as a powerful hacking technique. Despite the advanced technical defenses of U.S. intelligence and their employment of specialized hackers for defensive protection, Gamble, like an octopus, exploited simple human weaknesses that anyone could overlook to access highly sensitive information. Gamble's case caused alarm among many governments and intelligence agencies worldwide, particularly due to the simple and seemingly trivial methods used to gather information. It highlighted that sometimes technology is merely a spider's web in front of someone who thinks outside the box. The hacking field relies more on the intelligence, acumen, and talent of the individual and their unique way of thinking rather than the devices they possess and work with. As of now, the hacking of the CIA director by a 15-year-old is considered one of the boldest hacking incidents in modern history, leaving deep and lasting impacts on cybersecurity and law enforcement across borders.
Hello?
John Brennan?
Who is this?
You're a f***ing loser.
Who is this? How did you get this number?
It was so f***ing easy, bro. You're such a d***.
What do you want?
I don't want anything. I already f***ing own you.
How much do you want?
We want $5 trillion.
Why are you doing this?
We want you to stop bombing the Middle East.